Dog! This is about to be real fun. So the Secretary of the Department of Interior put this whole post out here. Said the evidence is clear. Vandals have repeatedly caused damage to the reflecting pool. Some of these acts were even caught on camera. We also provided the U.S. Attorney's Office, experts, and eyewitness testimony to the damage done by vandals and provided every piece of evidence they asked for in the requested timeline, detailing each area of damage at the pool. This was in response to the dropping of charges. And I would just like to read from that case real quick, Doug, just so you know that this is the case right here, the dismissal. And there's this important part I want you to read, Doug. Based upon the initial report by the Department of Interior, that's you, Doug, and the U.S. Park Police, the United States Attorney's Office presented the grand jury with evidence that damage in the reflecting pool was caused by vandals, including the defendant in this case. However, it was not until after the return of the indictment that the DOI, that's you, Doug, provided additional documents to the U.S. Attorney's Office indicating that the damage to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool in June of 2026 was the result of flawed installments by the contractors. They listed the contractors and said that the rush of the project, the events associated with the 250th celebration, you know, when they were driving cars over it, showed that damage. And then when the District Attorney's Office first reviewed this evidence that Doug and his department provided, they chose to dismiss the case. And not just this case, many cases. But Doug, I thought you said that vandals did it, Doug. The president said a whole football field was cut by vandals. Y'all sat here. We tried to tell you that running cars over it and the contractors were at fault is literally being proven by you and your department, Doug, to the district attorney's office, who then dropped the charges because you provided them with that evidence. This is your political model.
But it's certainly not over, because Donnie cannot just admit that he was wrong. So Donnie has taken to social media to say he disagrees with Jeanine Pirro, and that there's proof of the damage. This guy from the Department of Interior has taken to social media to echo his president's opinion that there's evidence of this damage being done, but they don't have any evidence. If they had evidence, they would have dropped the case. They would have proceeded with the case. They would have prosecuted this former Olympian and anybody else who they charged with damaging the reflecting pool. They would have convicted them, and they would have punished them in some way, shape, or form. But there's no fucking evidence of it. But Donald Trump can't accept that. So he is on Truth Social, publicly disagreeing with his own district attorney there. I think that's what she is there, the district attorney there, for dropping that case. But here's the part that should really, really, really concern the hell out of everybody. This administration is willing to incarcerate innocent American civilians to back up Donald Trump's lies. They were going to throw a former Olympian in prison because Donald Trump lied and can't admit that he was wrong. That should scare the living shit out of you.